Welcome. I hope that everybody is well. I know you're going to hear somewhat of an echo. You can see behind me, I am moving. I'm in the midst of moving to my new apartment. So it's a bit of a mess, and I hope you'll forgive me. This is a closet area, and this is going to be bed area, but this is the new place. Yay! I don't know who's here, but please say hello in the live chat. Oh, there we go. Michael saying hi already. I'm going to turn on the comments on here so you can see them on the right side of the screen if you're interested. But welcome. I am a little bit thinking we're going to do something kind of different today because we didn't meet on Monday, so we don't technically want to cover the homework for the previous lesson. We'll hold that till next week. So I was thinking today we could do kind of like a question and answer, take it a little bit easier and just let things flow, where we'll basically cover what we've learned in Seow's grammar until now, because there's quite a bit. Let me see that this pen works just on my screen. Okay, great. And I'll share the screen with you as it is. So it is a blank screen and we can write whatever we want, which means that we can go over things that are challenging you in your learning. So I provided the link on Discord to anybody who wants to jump on. If you are on Discord, just go and grab it. You don't need to be part of the paid Patreon platform today, because I just want to give everybody the opportunity to catch up and get their questions answered as they have them. Until now, basically we have covered, I'm going to try to get things off my screen because I just finished another lesson that was a private thing that's recording and it's saving on my desktop, on my computer. So basically we've covered the kal, that is the form pa'al, okay, pa'al. And we've covered the piel in the what we would call the past and the future. That's piel, piel, okay, piel. And our next section that we're going to be covering is going to go over the hiphil. I always write my page like we do in modern Hebrew. Hiphil. Okay, so we want to go and look at all of these things and cover everything that you might have missed or not understood. Maybe go over the weak roots and see how they are expressed in the various binyanim. Again, binyan is a word that means a building or a structure in Hebrew. And we have 7 common binyanim. Sorry, I'm getting used to this new arrangement. 7 common binyanim. What does this mean? That that's all of the binyanim? Oh, no, it's not all. It's the common ones. There are others that we will cover at the end of the book. In modern Hebrew, basically, we use the 7, and there are sometimes like the verb potzetz. Potzetz is polel, and it functions like a piel, and it means he blew up. He blew something up. Potzetz et hamatzav. He blew up the situation. Okay, so let's think. First of all, I want to open up. If you have any questions, please post them in the live chat. I'll go ahead and post the link here in the chat. If you are online in our live chat and you want to join us, then just open this link and it will let you in. And once that's happened, then I will be able to put you on stage. And on stage just means that you have a microphone, you have a camera, you're willing to appear and talk with us. So if you're on the live chat and you want to join us, just click on or open that link and I'll put you on. There are 4 people in the live chat right now, and you're welcome to join me. So that is the best way for you to ask questions and for you to clarify things. Maybe we'll get to look at some things that we didn't talk about in the past. Again, I apologize for the echo. The room is empty right now. There's a little desk and a bed with no mattress. So there's nothing in here. And it's very echoey, but it won't stay like that forever, I hope. Okay, so in the kal, that was well, first of all, people, for some reason, instead of saying kal, which is the name of the binyan, call it kal. Kal, like Kal or something, kal. It's not kal, it's kal, because it's the Hebrew word kal, which means light, like easy, light, not difficult, not heavy. Kal. And so it's the easy or the non-difficult binyan. So be careful not to say kal, because it's not what it's called kal. But I hear Cal all over the internet. I see John out there, and he's ready to join us, and hopefully ask him.
I'm just gonna watch.
That's fine too. If somebody wants to just jump online and watch, you are welcome. Or you could just watch on the YouTube, whichever you choose. But this will, if you have a question, you can chime in with it at any point. Okay, so we know that the suffixes, we have suffixes for the past tense. They're basically the same for all of the binyanim. That is that in the past tense, we're going to say ti for ani, we're going to say ta for ata, and t for at. And then for him, we're going to have nothing. For who? For he, we have a. Okay, for atem, we have tem. For aten, we have ten. And for them, we have a common u. The common gender means it's used for masculine and feminine. It's labeled in the middle of the table. The right is masculine, and the left is feminine. Okay, masculine and feminine. And that's how I lay my tables out. So you should, I hope, be familiar with that until now, as we've covered in the course. So the kal, basically, when you have a root, these are 3 root letters. Sorry, that's ugly. 3 letters. The root is going to be a, like katal, katal, with kamats and patach. That's the normal structure for kal. Okay, so from that we add the suffixes. Kat, we say katalti. Let's use the kef, kuf, ket, lamed. Katalti. Okay, and this is a dagesh because it's beged kefet. Katalta, you killed. Katalt. Okay. Katal is he did it. Traditionally, it would have been katala, but it's katla. Katla. Okay. Katalno. Katalno. Okay, again, the tem. Okay, this one reduces right there. Taltem. Talten. And then the u ending for them is, it would have originally been katalu, but it became katlu. 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 They did it. I hope that that is easy and clear for you until this point. Let's try to put it in the table with Microsoft Word just to remember how to do it. I hope you can see Microsoft Word on the computer right now. John, can you confirm that you can see it?
I see that you're making a graph. I see.
Okay. So it's we're going to do 3 columns by 6 rows and tell it to fit to contents. Okay, so this is basically how we're going to look at verbs. Why 3? 3, 2. This is 2. 6 by 2. Sorry, delete. Okay. The first person is common and the third person is common in the plural. Good. Okay, so let's look at it. So all of this we want center. We've got katalti, okay, katalti, katalta, katalt, katal. Why is this not center? I told it to center. Okay. Katla. This is also common. Katalo, taltem, talten, and katlu. Okay, so let's add the vowels, and this is our table for the past tense of the kal. Okay, katal, katla, talnu. Why do we put a meteg in katla? Right? Do you have any idea? There's Karen also joining us. Hadi. Why do we put meteg in this one, katla? Any idea?
Would it be to show that it's a long vowel and it doesn't reduce? It's not a. It doesn't reduce to a short vowel.
Exactly. So if we didn't have meteg, it would be ambiguous if it's kotla or katla. Kotla would be the imperative, like the imperative from shomra. So kotla would be an imperative, but this is katla, which is obviously past tense feminine. Okay, so now we've got some comments there. Katala, yeah, katla, katala, katla. Yeah, fantastic. So let's see. If I want to add the word stress, I want to put it here in all of the instances. Okay, so all the word stress is added now. Katalti, katalta, katalt, katal, katla, katallu, kataltem, katalten, katlu. Those are all of the forms of the past. So if we wanted to use, I say past, I mean perfect, right? Perfective. Oops. Okay, if I want to put another one, then I could do with shamar. The shamar is the kal verb that means kept. So we say shamarti, shamarta, shamart, shamra here, shamar, shamarnu, shmartem, shmarten, and shamru. Okay, the vowel pointings will be exactly the same as katalti, shamarti. They're exactly the same. Shamarti. So we'll go here and we'll go like this. Shamarta. Shamart. Shamar. Shamra. No, I hate my keyboard. Shamra. Shamarno. Karen, do you have any questions or anything you want to say?
Not yet. I just came back to Lex.
Okay. Welcome back. Shmaltem, Shmaltem, and Shamru. No. Okay, there we go. שמרו. שמרתי, שמרת, שמרת, שמר, שמרה, שמרנו, שמרתם, שמרתן, and שמרו. All right, so that is the standard form. We want to look maybe at, no, not that, but we want to look at the, what happens when we have a weak consonant inside of a root. Okay, so let's say what we have, what lavo. Lavo means to, what is lavo? Lavo. Bo.
To come or to go?
Come or enter. Lavo, to enter or to come. So when you say I came or I entered, we say, instead of bo, we say ba, bati. Okay, bati, I came or I entered. Bati. Okay, so let's get rid of all of this. And we'll say, okay, bati, bata. Bat. Ba'a. Ba. Banu. Batem. Baten. Ba'u. Ba'u. Okay, so this is bata. The aleph is quiescent, which means that it's not pronounced. We just ignore it. It's like the bata, but the aleph needs to be written. Bata. Okay, but, ba, huba, he came. He, ba'a, banu. Oops. Banu, we came. Banu. Batem. Batem. Baten, you came, feminine. And ba'u, they came. Ba'u. Okay? So I hope that it's pretty clear. What's going on is that the middle letter, because the root is bo. Okay, the root is bo. Hold on, bo. Okay, the middle letter in this weak root disappears. Bo becomes ba, bati. Okay, the same happens with all of the yod and resh internal vowels. So shir, lashir, to sing, becomes, let's
Shar.
paste the table, shar. Shar. Okay, shar. Shir became shar. Okay, shir, ani sharti. I sang. Sharti. Oops. Okay, sharti. Sharti. Sharta.
Sharta.
Shout. Shara. Okay. Sharta, you sang. Sharta kol halayla, you sang all night. Shalom Kotan, we see that you're over there in the chat. Welcome. Sharta, you sang. Sharta kol halayla. Ani sharti kol halayla. I sang all night. I love to do karaoke, so that's something I do. Ani shar kol halayla. He shara. He shara. אנחנו שרנו. באנו, שרנו. כל הלילה, all the night. כל הלילה. שרנו כל הלילה. Okay? How do you say you with atem?
Shartem.
אתם שרתם. שרתם, שרתם כל הלילה ואתן שרתן. שרתן. שרתן כל הלילה והם שרו. הם שרו כל הלילה. שרו. Okay?
Quick question.
Yes.
In Ba'u, why did you need a meteg under the bait for there? I'm not, so I understand that the aleph is quiescent, but doesn't it close the syllable?
Where do you see meteg?
Under Ba'u, why don't you?
Ba'u.
Ba'u,
No meteg.
sorry. All right.
No
So
meteg.
the aleph doesn't close the syllable?
The aleph is quiescent. So quiescent means that it disappears. It's only there because it's a
All
root
right.
letter.
So it's not pronounced. It's like it ain't
But
even there.
ba'u, it's not. Ba'u is ba and u. U is aleph vav. Ba'u.
Okay.
Ba'u.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm. So the aleph is opening the syllable. Can you hear my cat? Can you hear her?
No.
She's making noise. Baby girl. Hello. Okay, so let's take another root. Lalun. Lalun is to dwell, to spend the night. Lalun. So you do lalun in an inn. An inn is called malon. So where you say ani lanti, right? It's the same as the sharti and the bati, but it's lanti. This isn't so common. You don't say ani lanti, but you can. Lanti. Lanti is I stayed there overnight. Lanta. Lant. Lan. Lana. Lannu. This is very strange because it's not common. This is not a common verb. I just want to cover it because it has a middle vav. Lanta. Why is lannu strange? I think Colton would know.
Which one? The lan?
The word lannu. It's strange because of this dot in the nun. Lannu. It's lan, the root, and nu,
Oh,
we.
because so the
Lan,
double N.
nu. The nun is doubled.
Yeah.
Lannu, lannu. Lannu means we spent the night somewhere, but remember that we have the preposition lanu, which means to us. Lanu. Lanu, to us or for us. And lannu, we stayed there. So, and we have lanu also for they spent the night. They stayed there. Lan tem and lan ten. This really is not a common verb in the Bible, and it's certainly not used in modern Hebrew. We don't use it to say, I spent the night there. Avarti sham et halayla. So let's look at the use of lan in the Bible, because I imagine it's very few instances. So if we do search in Logos, I don't know if people have, what's it called, concordance, but I use Logos. So the root is lun. Lun can also be the root lean. Lean and lun, this one is ambiguous. So it might be that it will show up. Wow, I just popped out and in. Did you miss much?
No, I didn't.
Like
see
my
it.
internet apparently disconnected and then. Okay, good. So let's look at lean because it doesn't seem to find loon. So lean, to pass the night, to spend the night. La lean and la loon, it's the same root in the Bible. It says it appears 70 times. So let's look specifically at the perfect because that's what we're looking at, verb in the kal perfect. Okay. So Judges 19:13 says velanu, and we spent the night. Lanu, notice the doubled nun with the dagesh. Okay, we spent the night on the hill and in the high place. 2 Samuel 12:16 says velan v'shechav arza, and he will spend the night and he will lay down on the ground. Okay, Isaiah 10:29 avru mabara. Geva malona lanu. Lanu is they, right? It's the they form. So lanu is we spent the night, and lanu is they spent the night. But notice that it's ambiguous between they spent the night, lanu, and to us, lanu. It's ambiguous. And then finally, velane, which is, we're not going to look at that form. Okay, so that's the forms that we have. It appears 70 times in the Bible. It is ambiguous whether or not it is lalun or lalin, but either way in the past tense, it's going to look the same.
Why is the patach used sometimes under the lamed and the kamatz at other times?
So in the kamatz is used for an open syllable. And let me put the stress there.
Oh,
Lanu.
of course. Why didn't I see that?
And this one, the syllable is stressed, but this one is a closed syllable. Lanti, lanta. They're closed syllables, so they're reduced. So the same would be the case with ba, but the aleph makes it so the syllable is necessarily open. Because it's it would close it, but it becomes quiescent and it disappears, so the syllable is open. And so here the syllable is closed. Shar, sharti, sharta, shart. But once it's stressed, the syllable is stressed, it's long. Shar, shara. Here it's again, it's not just that it's closed, it's stressed, but in this case it's open, shar. Right? And in this case it's single, like a monosyllabic, so that influences it. Okay?
Thank you.
Good question. Good. Okay, so what happens with first nun, like nasa? Nasa. Let's paste our table, make these centered, and then we will start at the top with nasa. Nasa. Nasa means he. Karen dropped out and dropped back in. There we go. And I'll kick the old one. So what is nasa? Nasa. Nasa means he set out or he traveled. He traveled. He set out. We use it like driving in a car, but it's not the word driving, it's traveling. Traveling in a car. But if somebody is stopped at the red light and he's then the light switches to green, and he's looking at his phone and he doesn't go, you tell him, sa. Sa. That's the imperative of nasa. Go, set out, travel. Right? Nasa. So if you say I went or I traveled, you say nasati.
Nasati.
Nasati. Okay? Nasati, notice the ayin takes a silent shva, which means the beged kefet after it takes a dagesh lene, dagesh kal. So nasati, and you say you traveled, nasata. Nasata. And for a woman, you say nasat. Nasat. Vahi nasa. Nas nas'a. Hinas'a. אנחנו נסענו. Oops. Nasa'nu. Notice that if you're using a smart font, the shape of the ayin will change. You see that the ayin without a vowel is angled down, but the ayin with the vowel is pulled back up onto the line. Nasanu. Nasanu. That's just a fun thing about the shape of the ayin. There are a couple of shapes. Okay. Nasa, you say nisatem, nisatem, and nisaten. Nas'u. Nas'u. Notice the ayin does have a sound. It's ah. So you don't say nasu, but nas'u. Nas'u, 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 nas'a, nas'a. The ayin is the throat sound. Okay. All right. Good. What happens when you have? See, we're not covering the future yet. We should cover the future. We will. Okay. Let's say kalatati, kalatata, kalat. Slicha. No kalat. Kalat is to bring something in, to absorb it. So katalti, katalta, katalt, katal, katla, katalnu, kalten, katen, and katlu. The future, you say ektol. Ektol. Karen, I see you've got a book open. Do you have a question? No. Okay.
I'm sorry, I gotta go. Goodbye, everybody. This was great.
John, we'll see you later. People are welcome to jump in and jump out as you wish. Don't feel any obligation. Please come on, ask your question if you will. The stream link is in the live chat, which I will put again for whoever wants to jump on. So, ektol, the ata form is tiktol, ata tiktol, at tiktili, hu yiktol, he tiktol. Tiktol is the same here and here. It's the same form. Anachnu niktol, atem tiktelu, aten tiktolna, hem yiktelu, vehen tiktolna. The same as this one. So let's add it so you can see. We're going to add to the right. And again, add to the right. So the U form, the I form is going to be merged. This form is going to be merged. Okay, so this is ektol, ektol. The kal is the only one that has okay, so the kal and hiphil are the only ones who have a closed syllable in the first, at the beginning of the word, except for obviously the hitkatel, hitpael, because it always has a closed syllable with the et. Okay, tiktol, tiktol, tiktli, tiktli, yiktol, and tiktol, which is the same as this one. Always these two forms are the same. Niktol, okay, tiktelu, this is going to look exactly like it, with yiktelu instead of tiktelu, and then tiktolna. This is stressed. Tiktolna. Oftentimes, the vowel in this form is going to would be colored. It would go longer or shorter. Okay. All right. How's that? Iktol, tiktol, tiktali, yiktol, tiktol, niktol, tiktelu, tiktolna, yiktol, or yiktelu, tiktolna. That is fun. What happens in Shamalti? Exactly the same thing. I don't want to go over it again. Eshmor, tishmo, tishmeri, yishmo, tishmo, nishmor, tishmeru, tishmorna, yishmeru, and tishmorna again. So we'll skip that one. This one is middle week, so it's going to be a bit different. I hope you know what I'm doing with the tables. If anybody's unclear what I'm doing, then ask the question. So this is the root bo. The future is going to be avo. Vo. Okay, I will come. I will enter. Okay, you will enter. Tavo. Tavo. Okay, tavoi. Okay, like tishmeri. Tavoi. Tavoi. Where did that come from? Tavoi. Tavoi. Come. This is what I said to my cat. I said, boi. Boi, come. Tavoi. Okay. Yavo. Tavo. Again, the third feminine is always in the future identical to the second masculine, singular. Okay, so navo, we will come, we will enter. Navo. You tell somebody, yes, I know you're having a party on Friday and we will come. Anachnu navo. Navo. Okay. Tavo'u. Tavo'u. It's like tavoi. Tavo. Okay, this one is a problem because we have two forms. We've got tavona and we have tvoena. When you have a middle week, this has two forms. Tevo. This is tavona, tavona, because the stress is like right after this vowel, so it's wrong. Tavona with the aleph quiescent, and tevoena. This is straight. It's a longer form. Tevoena. Again, these forms are the same, so I'll just copy. Tavona or tevoena, and yavo. Normally, forms don't have two options. You can't normally say two different forms. It's one form, but in these less common words, sometimes there are alternative forms. So I've included it here. Tavona and tvoena. Okay, both of them have the na ending that should be clear with the bo root. Tvoena, you will enter. Sharti, this is with lashir, so we'll put two columns to the right and look at the future. How you doing, Karen? You got questions?
Yeah, just a side question on writing. When you put in that accent, like the yavo, like to stress, what keys you use to do that?
I'm using Alt Greek and 6, the number 6 on the keyboard. Alt
Oh, is
Greek
it?
6.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I'm using the standard Windows keyboard.
Right.
So I will sing Ashir. It can also be the long form Ashira. Ashira. So there's that song in the when they came out from the Red Sea coming out of Egypt, they say Ashira ladonai ki gaoga. This is from the Prince of Egypt. Ashira ladonai. I shall sing to the Lord. Tashir. Tashiri. Okay. Tashir. It sounds, this word tashir sounds like another word, which has an aleph in it. It's tashir. And tashir is hiphil, meaning leave something, like leave it behind. Tashir, leave it. Notice the aleph is in the middle. That's the difference. So it sounds tashir, you will sing, like tashir, you will leave behind. It's related to the word for remnant, which is she'ar. She'ar or she'erit. These words are the words for remnant, like in the book of Isaiah. A remnant shall remain. She'ar yashuv, a remnant shall return. This is the name of one of the children of Isaiah in the prophecy. Okay, so yashir, vehi tashir. She will sing. He tashir. Anachnu nashir. We will sing. Atem tashiru. Tashiru. Aten. Okay, this is where the vowels color. Instead of tashirna, it's tasherna. Tasherna. There's something that happens with the coloration of these vowels that instead of tashir, we want tasher. Tasher, yashiru. These feminine plural forms are forms that we don't normally use in modern Hebrew. So we don't say tasherna, we say aten tashiru. Aten tashiru. So it becomes the same form, masculine, becomes used for feminine in modern Hebrew as well. All right, any questions? Tasherna.
Okay. Just for tashirna, that's we come on Siri because of the accent, it shift backs or
Just think of it as closing up. See, the tashir has the yod written.
yeah.
And this, think of it just as closing up the space. It closes up that space, and then the vowel changes to eh.
Okay.
E and eh are the same vowel type. They're the same vowel classification. Okay. All right. As we have lalun or lalin. Okay. Because we don't know if this is lalun or lalin, and both forms appear. Okay, then we can have an alternative future. We can check and see which ones are actually used more commonly in the Bible. We can check that in a second. Merge. No, not delete. No, merge. My eyesight is getting worse as I get older. Okay, so let's say I don't have a search window open. Search. And we said earlier that it's listed in this dictionary as lean, to pass the night or to spend the night, right? So we will do verb, and we'll do the kal and imperfect. Imperfect, that will tell us the future, and it will tell us what it uses. Lalin, nalin, yalin, talin, 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 talino, talan, al talan, this is adjustive form, so ignore that. Yalin, talen, al talen, also adjustive. Yalin, yalin, talino, yalino, talin, yalino, talin, and so on. I was sure that we also had it as yalun somewhere in the Bible. Yalino, it's all yalin in the future, but what if we look at it as the infinitive construct? Lalin, lalun. See, Genesis 24:23 says lalin, and Genesis 24:25 says lalun. So one of them, and you can see that the rest of them say lalun, lalun, lalun. So in the infinitive, it reads it as lalun most of the time, but in one verse it reads it as lalin. But throughout the perfect or the imperfect, the future, it's going to say e. So we're going to say here alin, even though we could imagine that it would say alun. Talini, yalin, talin, nalin, okay, talinu, and this will be yalinu. And then we got to think about what happens here. Helena, this is funky. Okay, sata, len, na. Whew, that feels bad, but that it seems right. Helena, Helena.
So that's the same thing again, right? The closing up of the
Yeah.
vowel, like
And
removing
closing
the
up of the,
space.
and we won't see it. We won't see it because it doesn't exist in the Bible. Like there is no talena, but we can imagine it. We can imagine it because of the talen from the root and the na from the suffix. But these forms don't really exist in the Bible, so we're guessing at them, but we can check. We can check by going to a verb parser, like a verb paradigm presenter. So we can look at pealim.com. I don't know if this will give us the form or not, but we can check. Lalun. And in the future, it gives us alun. You see, I said we could imagine lalun and talonna with the O ending. Tlunena, that's an alternative, like tvoena. Let's try to see if they have a different version of lalin. Yeah, I figured not, but maybe the Hebrew Language Academy will have Academia ללשון העברית. אקדמיה ללשון העברית. We want נטיות הפועל, and we want to try lin in binyan kal. It looks like it's going to have it. Yes, so this is the lanti, lanta, lant, lan, lana, lano, and so on. Alin, talin, talini, and so on. And then in the plural, talena, but it has with a sere. So we'll change it to. I was guessing because I've never seen this verb. I've never seen this word used. Lena, talena, okay. Talena. Make sense? You can check things on the Hebrew Language Academy's website because they often have even the old forms.
So I cannot write Hebrew Language Academy in English, right?
I don't know. Let's see. I've never done that. Hebrew Language Academy. Well, what will happen? Do they have an English website? Academy of the Hebrew Language. It looks like you just go to the second one. That's ugly. Go to the second one where it puts it in Hebrew. Academia ללשון העברית. Go to that one. And then go to נטיית הפועל, which is the how the verbs break down into the נטייה. Their paradigm. Conjugation of verbs. Yes, conjugation. These words in English are so awful. Why do we have all these stupid words? Right? But conjugation is nitya. Why do we use these words that don't mean anything? The conjugation doesn't, we never say, I'm going to conjugate. Like, who says that? But in grammar, we have to use all these words that don't mean anything in real English. We do the same thing in Hebrew. We use these words that don't have real meaning. They only mean something in the context of grammatical studies, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, Talinu this one. Okay? Should be clear. Nasati. Okay, what happens to this one? Do you remember?
With the word? Oh. No, I guess the noon should be assimilated, I think.
Yeah. So the ayin, once instead of we would normally do like this, and we would say n. Oh, come on, n, and then saw, right? The ayin would go ah. But what happens really is that the ayin colors that as ah, and this n sa becomes essa with the dagesh there. Essa, essa. I will drive or I'll travel or I'll go. Tisa, tisa. You remember this one?
This one, no.
Tis'i. Okay, tis'i. Because we have a samech, which is one of the Skenim Levi letters, and it has a shava underneath it, the dagesh drops out. Tis'i. Tis'i. But it has the noon assimilation there, you just don't see it. Isa. Okay, tisa is the same as the second masculine singular, tisa. Nisa. Okay, tis'o. It happens the same way where you have the noon assimilated and it disappears. Tis'o, tis'o. And here, nis'o. The noon, you don't see it. You don't see the assimilation because of the Skenim Levi letter. Okay, tisa becomes tisana. Okay, tisana. Okay, tisana. How we doing? We only got 2 viewers. I'm really sorry. This is boring as poop. But it is what it is. We've got to get through the language. Okay. I don't know who the viewers are. I don't know what's going on. Why didn't anybody jump up on here with us? Karen, why not? Don't people want to have their Hebrew questions answered? Let's see. Okay, let's see what happens in the hiphil of hiphil. I want to do the hiphil, but I don't think we've covered the hiphil yet. Have we covered the hiphil? We did in the past. We didn't cover the future. So we have to go to the piel. So shamal means he kept. Okay, shimer means he preserved. To preserve and to keep. These like to preserve or to protect. These are the same root idea, but they are different in meaning, obviously. Okay. Okay. So shamal means he kept. Shimer is he. How about we do ber, because shiber actually exists in the Bible. Shiber is he. Shabar is he broke, and shiber is he broke to pieces or he shattered. So Moses shiber et luchot habrit. He broke to pieces the tablets of the 10 Commandments. Shiber. So shibarta. Shibarti, shibarta. Make sense?
Yeah.
Shibarta. You broke to pieces. The difference in the past tense is going to be like Vaishaber. Vaishaber, he broke to pieces. He shattered. Vaishbor, Vaishaber. Shibart, you shattered. Shibart. Okay, Shiber. And Shibra. I've never heard that in the feminine. Shibra. She shattered it. I've never heard that in the feminine. We don't really use this in modern Hebrew, but it is in biblical Hebrew. Shiber. In modern Hebrew, there's Hishavraitze לחלקים או לרסיסים, little pieces, שברה. And I don't think the distinction is understood in modern Hebrew. When it says Vaishaber et Luchot Habrit, I don't think Hebrew speakers understand that. Michael, I'm so glad to have you say that, because I'm not getting much feedback, and it's a good idea, because I get thinking, oh, why am I doing this? Shibarno, okay, we broke into pieces. Shibarno, we shattered something. And shibartem, shibartem, shibarten, and shavru, shibru. You will notice that if you get rid of all of the points, okay, in these PL forms, okay, if you get rid of all the points, they look exactly like kal forms. So sometimes when you read an unpointed text, you might be confused if something is kal or PL. So you could say shibarti, shavarti, shibarta, shavarta, shibart, shavart, shiber, shavar, shibra, shavra, shibarnu, shavarnu, shibartem, shvartem, shibartem, shvartem, and shibru, shavru. Like the pointing is the only thing that makes the difference. So it kind of makes us consider how important the jobs of the Masoretes were, like how important it was, because the kal and the piel most of the time look exactly the same. They look identical if the text is unpointed. What do we do in modern Hebrew to distinguish between them? When you have piel, you add yod. You say shibarti with yod. And in the future, the difference between ektol and akatel, the ektol is going to have a vav, and that's the kal, and the piel will not have a vav, so it's akatel, akatel, that's piel, and the kal is ektol with vav. That's how we distinguish when there are no points. So if we look at this, okay, the first one is marked as a kal, ektol, and the second would be read as piel, akatel. That's the difference. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. So the future in the piel is very easy, because you just take this form, katel, and you add the prefixes. So let's look at them. We didn't really go over things so thoroughly when we covered the PL future, so here we go. So the prefix is this, the internal structure is katel. Okay, the prefix is going to be here in an unstressed syllable, it's reduced, akatel, akatel. So the prefix here, okay, te, katel, te katel, and then we add e onto the end. This will reduce this vowel, tekatli, tekatli, like she will, you will, excuse me, yikatel. Tikatel. I think we've hit the hour mark, but I want to keep going for whoever wants to. You don't have to. Nikatel, nekatel, tekat. This is tekatlu. This is just the PL. It doesn't matter that the root on the left side is shamal. Tikatel, tikatlu, tekatelna, katelna, Okay, and yekatelu. Yekatelu. Okay, the hiphil is going to be a lot of fun because fun things happen to the roots. We especially are worried about first noon, first yod, and middle week. These are the fun roots in the hiphil. Okay. So let's say Nasa. We said Nasa means he traveled. If you make someone travel, then it would be like this, Hinsia. But the noon doesn't like to stand with the word after it, the letter after it. So it's Hisia. Hisia. So the dagesh in the middle represents the noon that's assimilated. Hisia, he made someone travel. Lavo is middle week, so it's bo, bo. Okay, so when we add the hey onto it, we would want to say like this, kiv v. We don't like that, so the middle vowel just drops out, and to compensate, it becomes a vowel itself in the hiphil. And then we have this also compensating and becoming long, hevi. Hevi means he brought, or he made, he brought, or he made someone enter. And this is he made someone travel or set out. Okay, so hevi, he brought, hevi. The first yod is like, it can be two things. It can be first yod or vav. If it's vav, it's like yalad. Yalad means it's a child, or he bore. When you add the hey onto the beginning of it, it would be like, this is naturally a vav. So it would be hawlid, or he. Traditionally, in the past, the hiphil didn't begin with he, it became with ha. It began with ha. So way back in time, this was hawlid, and instead of the ow, it became ho, holid. Holid means he engendered, he fathered a child. Holid, fathered, holid. And middle week we have first yod. Okay, so we don't have a lot of real first yod words. Okay, but yetav is a good example. So it would be originally hitiv, and the I became a, hitiv. Hitiv. I can't type. Hitiv. So hitiv means he did well, like he did good. Hitiv lasot, he did well, something, he did something well. Let's say that you would attach it to another verb and you say something, he's something well, whatever it was. Hitiv lasot. Hitiv, it has another verb that goes with it. He something well. That's what happens to first yod. So it's going to be a lot of fun when we get into the hiphil next week and look at what happens to all of the roots. But basically, a hey prefixes onto it, and the internal vowel is e, it gets added. When it goes out of the third person, it becomes a. So hisia becomes hisati. I made him go. Hisati. Hevi becomes heveti. Okay, that's a little bit different. Heveti. That's because of the aleph. Heveti. Holid becomes holadati. Holadati. I fathered. I engendered. And
Oladiti.
Hitavti.
Oladiti. Oladiti.
Holadati. Holadati. So a lot of fun things happen in the hiphil because of the root letters. And that's what we're going to start working. We're going to work on it more directly next week. I'm really sorry for the mellow way in which I approached this. I just wanted to come at it from the way of offering the chance to ask questions and to get your review in, to get things answered for you. I didn't want to come at it as like we normally do and just teach through something. So I hope it wasn't too dull.
No, definitely not.
I wish that more people had joined in because that's what I was hoping, just to open it up. That's why I sent the link to the chat and to Discord. Wanted people to come on. All right. Well, anyway, that's more than an hour. It's an hour and 7 minutes. So I hope everybody's well, and we will see you next week on Monday. Monday, we're back to our normal schedule. So we'll see you then. And hopefully my background, my living arrangement will be more orderly. All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks a lot.
All right.